What's going on? Will Freeman, revolutionarylifestyledesign.com, talking to you today about boredom, depression, distress, eustress, potential, purpose, mission, breakdowns, and joy. A lot of concepts, a lot of maps to use. Remember, the map is not the territory. Okay, the territory is joy. The territory is positive states. It's always the territory when I'm giving you a strategy. Okay, so we're going to cover a lot of stuff we've been covering this year. And what it comes down to is I was talking to a buddy of mine who made a lot of money, and that career's ended. That career's he's not interested in that. There's certain areas that are blocking him from making money. He's burnt out on that. He's looking for his mission. Okay, and he's feeling a bit lost, and that was no surprise to me. Okay, that's what happens when you don't have a mission. When you either don't have purpose, you've never had a mission, or you completed your mission, my friend did, and you don't have any more games attached to that. You can't level up. And so now he's lost purpose. Okay, now this guy's made a lot of money, and he's bored. Within a week or two, he's bored. Again, no surprise, guys, okay? Money doesn't make you happy. Women don't make you happy. These are tools that can make you happy when you play them properly, all right? But when you don't have a purpose, doesn't matter how much money you have, you're gonna get bored, all right? It's like beating a video game. When you beat the game and you're excited, and then you're like, well, what do I do now? That game was awesome, right? You have no new next game, okay? You don't have a next game to play. Like that new game just came out. That was your world for a week or two. Now it's gone. You're like, oh, this sucks. What do I do now, right? Okay, that's what it feels like when you lose purpose. You lose purpose. You have all this free time, right? When you were working on your mission or whatever it was, you're like, oh man, I wish I had some more time for these hobbies. But then when you have all the free time in the world and you have all the time to do all those hobbies, you get bored of them. Okay, you get bored of them. Because now it's out of moderation, all right? It's just like pizza, okay? Pizza's my favorite food, but if you eat pizza every day, eventually you're gonna hate pizza. You're gonna be like, I can't even look at pizza anymore because it's too much, all right? It's too much. But when it's a treat once a week or something like that, you can love pizza forever, okay? It's the same thing with your hobbies. Your hobbies were just out of reach, and you wish you had more time for them because you were so busy with your mission. But then when you have all the time in the world for them, you're bored of them, okay? And it works that way with everything, with relationships. Familiarity breeds contempt. Okay, if there's not some kind of a barrier there, you get bored of whatever it is. Okay, you get bored of whatever it is when you can have it all the time and you can reach out and grab it all the time. It's a reality. Okay, so hobby was great after work when it was limited, when there was an external limiter, right? There was a limiter on that hobby, and you're like, man, I wish I could get more time to cook or play guitar or whatever that thing was, or spend time with my girlfriend. When you can do all the time, you get bored of it, right? And eventually you're lost for long enough, you don't have a new mission, you just get bored. You're bored of everything, right? You're like, okay, I can have sex during the day with girls, right? Awesome. It's awesome when you're at work and you get a day off or whatever. Okay, when a corporate job is your mission, which I think is a bad mission, by the way, and you're like, man, I can have a girl over in the afternoon and hang out with her all day, and it's beautiful. I'll tell you what though, I haven't had to work a job in 3 years. Last thing I want to do is spend an afternoon with a girl because I'm off mission. I'm off mission, and you get bored of that. Dude, you can have that. You can do that for a month. You're gonna get bored of it. You're gonna get bored of that. You're gonna get bored of reading in the afternoon. You're whatever it is. Okay, you're gonna get bored, and boredom's the first stop on depression. All right, boredom, if it continues to depression. Okay, boredom ends in depression, and it's depression is the flat line. Okay. It's like you've been depressed. You've been pushed down, flattened out. Right? Literally, like, think about what the word depressed means. Like, you've been depressed, you've been flattened out. right? It's the same expression as boredom, right? Boredom leads to, leaning forward, tired, mouth breathing. You just have no energy for things, right? Like this, it's the same physical response. Boredom leads to depression. So, in short, no mission equals no purpose equals inevitable boredom equals inevitable depression. Okay, if you're continuing along that line long enough, that's where it ends up. Okay, total depression though is a step lower. Total depression is like where you can't get out of bed. That's where you're bored of everything. Okay, you're bored of everything, and to you nothing matters. So now you're a nihilist. That's the lowest level of depression, is nihilism. You're totally bored of everything. You have no purpose. Not only that, you're bored of just thinking about things, and nothing matters, right? Think about nihilism. Think about people that are really depressed, that can't get out of bed. Nothing can pull them up because they have no interest in anything. All right? It's the logical continuation of boredom. No interest, lack of interest. Depression is lack of interest. If you had even one thing that you're interested in that you could do, you wouldn't be in total depression. Okay, let's say you had a girlfriend that you loved, and you're like, well, at least I can see my girlfriend every day, right? And in those 3 hours that you saw her, you weren't depressed. And during the day, you could look forward to seeing her. Okay, so you didn't end up in total depression. You're in distress about a lot of things in your life, but you're not in total depression. If you have even one thing that you're interested in that pulls you out of boredom, one thing that actually matters to you, like that girlfriend, then you're not in total depression. Okay, at least until she dumps you. Because that's what's gonna happen when when she's the only thing in your life, when she's the only thing in your life, she's gonna dump you. Okay, because she's gonna become so important to you that you're gonna be putting so much emphasis on that relationship, and you're gonna be putting pressure on her, and you're gonna be putting her up on a pedestal, and that's going to turn her off. Okay, like with mathematical precision. If you ever heard the phrase "no one wants you when you're down and out," that is correct. Okay, but reverse that. You get your mission. You get your multiple levels of self-esteem. You have everything rolling. Then everyone wants you. Okay, that's how life goes. Life doesn't give you things when you're down. It gives you things when you're up, and it gives you more things than you need. It gives you abundance when you're up. That's how it goes, man. Not fair, but that's how it goes. So, if even one thing matters, if you have that girlfriend, you're not depressed. But then, say when she dumps you, and you have nothing that you're interested in anymore, total depression. Okay, now you're in bed, and you can't get out of bed, and the people around you don't know what to do because you're saying nothing matters and everyone's worried about you. All right. So you need purpose. Okay. I just took you to like the logical extent of like not having purpose. You need purpose. You need a mission. More young men are depressed today than ever before because they have no fucking purpose, man. We're giving our young men no. They're like, what? I'm gonna work this BS job the rest of my life. That I don't care about. Society is not interesting to me. I disagree with the politics. I disagree with all these different things. Marriage and kids, is not a guaranteed thing anymore. You can't guarantee, this income. We're beyond the stage of hunting and gathering our food and building houses and having a community, right? If you look at the Amish, like every one of those Amish people has a purpose. Okay, it's cooking, cleaning, building a house, building communities, helping each other out, etc., etc. But we have young guys who are spoiled. They don't have a purpose. They don't have things that they're interested in, or they're bored. They get bored of things, and then they get on the 4chan, and then they get on the Reddit, and then they get on the nihilistic chats and memes and all that stuff, and that ends in depression. Okay, that ends in depression when they get bored of that. Okay, because you're gonna get bored of the 4chan. You're gonna get bored of those ugly Reddit forums. You're gonna get bored of the hater forums too. Okay. Eventually, without purpose, turns to boredom, turns to depression. Okay. So you need purpose, you need a mission, and you need to be pursuing your potential. So it needs to be the right mission. The right mission is when you have eustress, okay? Eustress, I mean positive stress, all right? Um, if the mission's too small, if it's not big enough, and when you're not living up to your potential, other people may say you're doing great, but when you're not living up to your potential, you get bored. And that means the mission is not big enough. So that leads to boredom. Just like if you beat a video game, or just like a video game's on too easy. If you set it to too easy, it's like if you set the game to novice and you're just killing everything. There's no challenge. You know you're living below your potential, so you get bored. You want it right at the high end of your potential, where you stretch yourself, but not too far where you're getting breakdowns. Okay, so the right mission is you avoid the boredom by setting a mission that's too small and below your potential, but you also don't set something that's too big. Okay, if you ever worked a sales job, like I had corporate stress, where they're just expecting everything from you, and they're setting targets that are out of everyone's range, thinking that, like, just keep them on the hamster wheel and whip them like dogs and burn them and turn them, because, well, they'll quit anyways. If you ever worked a job like that, you know what the opposite side of stress is like. Okay, the opposite of boredom is too much stress. It ends in you being irritable all the time. It ends in you being in fear consciousness, where you're thinking about your mission and the things that you have to do all the time. And if you have to deal with that long enough, it ends in a breakdown. Okay, it ends in a breakdown where you can't do it anymore. So that's the result of having a mission that is stretching you too far. You want just the right amount of stretching. Okay. The right amount of stretching is like in the gym when you push it to fatigue and you're in there once or twice a week, but you're really giving it 110% to fatigue, where you can't move the bar anymore. And then you go home and you eat a lot, you rest up, you have a good sleep. So you've torn those muscles, right? You've created those micro tears, but they're going to repair themselves over the next night or the next 2 nights, and then that muscle is going to become stronger. As opposed to going in the gym for 4 hours, 7 days a week, throwing those weights around like I see some guys doing. That's going to lead beyond muscle tears that easily recover into injuries, into joint pain, into stiffness, into distress, as opposed to the eustress. Eustress is positive stress of some positive adversity, some stretching, okay, within your potential, or just to the edge of potential, or maybe pushing the boundaries of your potential. Okay, and you don't always know where that is, but you'll know when you're feeling irritable all the time and fear, and you feel like a breakdown's coming on, that you've gone too far. Okay, so boredom on one end, breakdown on the other. You want the eustress, as close to stretching your potential as much as you can while it's still a positive experience. Okay, eustress is what you want. Positive stress is what you want. And adversity is good, okay? Adversity is good, but it has to be eustress. Boredom is not good. Boredom is distress, okay? Depression is not good. Depression is distress. Injuries, are not good. That's distress. Being sick, being physically sick, is distress, okay? I had a commenter, and I've heard this from some other guys talking about Nietzsche and Nietzsche talking about people need to be strong and have adversity and overcome adversity. That's true to a degree, but it's eustress, okay? It's not distress, okay? Distress, if you want distress, you can go put a kitchen knife through your leg or go get AIDS, okay? There's nothing positive about that shit. And I hear people promoting this too online, and it's like, dude, there's nothing tough or cool about creating more distress for yourself in your life. And at the end of the day, everything we do is towards pleasure and away from pain. Pleasure can be achievement. It can be interest in things. It can be joy. It can be feeling powerful. It can be feeling energized. It can be all the above. And that's what we're aiming for, guys. Sickness, depression, mental illness, extreme physical pain. These are distress. Okay, we don't want those. We don't want those emotions. So it's very important to understand. All right. The idea is you need purpose, okay? You need purpose, you need a mission, you need a certain amount of eustress during the day. That's your 9 to 5, right? Then you can actually enjoy your hobbies again. Okay. Then you're not gonna be bored of it. Then you can have a girl over and it's great. Then you can read and unwind. Or then you can spend time with whoever you want to spend time with, or you can play guitar, or something along those lines. You can actually enjoy that free time when it's limited. Okay, everything has to have some kind of a limit, and it everything in moderation, right? So have to have that purpose, have to have that mission, has to be at the right end of the potential curve, enough to really stretch you, but not too much to break down and not too little to put you in boredom, because boredom leads to depression. Depression, like all distress, should be avoided. You should focus on eustress, okay? Eustress, potential, purpose, mission, and the end result is enjoy, not just when the day's over, but when you look at how much you achieve. Like achievement probably gives you the biggest high in life over anything else, okay? Because I'm working towards something. I'm fulfilling my mission. My mission gives me like 6 or 7 different payoffs. I know I can never retire because I would be bored to death. Okay, so it's just this forever, and it's worth it. It's worth it. I think it's the only move to make, guys. Have to have that mission. Have to have that purpose. Have to have the right side of the potential, and and get as many other things you can going for you: health, wealth, relationships, lifestyle, and as many other games. Like your purpose is your game for the day, but then get as many other games you can get for the night, right? Going to the gym, girls, hanging out with your boys, listen to music, playing music, whatever it is, right? Many games you can running for you, the better. So I hope you found that useful. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I know I covered a lot here, but it's important stuff, and important that you guys understand that. Thank you so much for watching, listening, and check me out, revolutionarylifestyledesign.com, iTunes, Facebook, SoundCloud. More to come in the future on that too.